I've had good luck with the Commlite EF to R adapter. This one is the non-variable ND. It has no ND in it, so it's just straight through. You can adapt all your EF lenses to your R8 or your R7 or R6 or R5, whatever, RP, a lot of them. So it's just a straight shot through there. You can adapt your old EF stuff. Nice and easy. The only problem is if you want to use, I always like to use a circular polarizer. Variable ND filters that go on the end of the lens, I've had trouble with using this. So if I'm using a variable ND, I can't use the lens hood. Well, if I'm out in the bright sunlight, I actually want to have a lens hood on there as well. So B&H had it for $130, which essentially this adapter is the same price as the Canon adapter that doesn't have a variable ND. So this is the EF to EOS R adapter with a variable ND filter in it. So what this does, it's got kind of solves my problem with not wanting to put variable NDs on the end of my lenses. You've got it right in here. And what this does is, let's see here if the camera will pick this up. I'll just put my hand behind here. As you turn this knob, it darkens the sunglass essentially. Your sunglasses get darker as you turn that knob there. It doesn't have any type of arrow on it, so as soon as you get to the darkest, it goes back to light, so you can just keep turning it until you find the right exposure you're looking for with darkness. And it can go either direction. So for this one, you have to match the little white dot with the red. Clicks into place nice and tight. Now I've got a built-in variable ND filter on my R8 so that I can say take off my EF lenses off my 90D. This is an EFS lens, so it's a crop sensor lens, but it'll still work just in crop mode. Okay, match up white to white. And this allows me to use my lens hood, which I've got my lens hood on there. I've also got a circular polarizer on there. So now I've got my polarizer on here. I have my lens cap, lens hood. I can use all of those things without any problems because my variable ND is in here. So that allows me to go out in those bright sunlit situations. I'm trying to zoom in on wildlife or fighter jets, bright sunny beach, whatever situation I'm in in a brighter environment. I've got this NB. Now the problem is you can't take this out. This doesn't work with this pulled out, so you do always need to be using this in well-lit environments, because this variable ND always does have a little bit of I guess stops of light that it removes, so you are going to lose some stops of light every time you're using this. So if you're going to be in a dark environment or a poorly lit environment where you don't need it, I would say just to take this one off and go back to the regular Commlite, one that doesn't have any NDs in it, and then you can go with any ND factor on it. Then you can go with the ND in the low light situation. So indoors, lower light, controlled lighting settings, I'll still stick with the regular Commlite. This one was pretty cheap too. I think this one was $50 for this one. It does have the foot on there too, which I like it, the tripod mount, so you can bring your mounting to your tripod out and you can mount the camera. It doesn't really matter with this little 24 lens, but you put on this big telephoto lens, it's nice to be able to bring the tripod out a little bit. So yeah, I would definitely stick with the regular Commlite or regular adapter that doesn't have, stick with the regular adapter that doesn't have any ND filters. The ND filters though definitely are nice to have. The variable ND is nice to have when you're outside and you go from clouds to sun to super bright to not so bright. You can kind of adjust that little knob right there and adjust your exposure as you want, keeping your lens hood in place. You don't have to fiddle around with changing anything up here, taking your lens hood off and not using the lens hood while you're using your variable NDs. Because I have not seen any reviews or anybody talk about this, and this was the first time I've seen one of these for an EF to RF type of adapter. So yeah, this is definitely the first one I've seen. I do kind of wish it had just a clear insert that you could trade out and just put the clear one in there. You wouldn't have to change the mount out. And I also do wish it had a tripod mount on the bottom of this one. However, they probably don't have room for all of that with this extra stuff they have going on here. But so yeah, better to just change this out if you're going to be in a lower light controlled indoor setting, or if it's a bright indoor, this still works. It has just a little bit of loss of light. Primarily the reason I got it was so that I can attach my 70 to 300, and out in the bright sun I can maintain my circular polarizer. Lens cap will still work, of course, and the huge lens hood. So I can use all of these things, have my lens hood on there protected from sun glare. It's out very bright, looking at nature, looking at planes, whatever you're looking at here. And I can just adjust if I need to. And if you're thinking about getting it, I do recommend it if you're doing any type of outdoor shooting, extremely bright conditions. 100 ISO. Now let's see if I can adjust my, alright, let's do the variable ND now. Let's see if I can darken that a little bit. Expose for the sky a little bit better. It's definitely not, doesn't look like it's exposed. Let's check the viewfinder out, see. Yeah, it looks like it's definitely exposed for the sky. Definitely dark and dark and dark. Okay. Interesting. Oh, there we go. Completely darkens out. Alright. Snow blindness going on out here right now. Let's darken that filter, the variable ND, see if this can compensate for being stuck right at f3.5 there. I think that's about as far as I should go here. That looks like it's good. The snow, the bright snow and the sun are actually making it hard to see the screen here. Let's see if I can, yeah, that looks good right there. Alright, so it seems to compensate, and then if I lighten it up, that's where we end up. So I can't seem to go any lower than ISO 200 on this one. Yeah, that's as low as it lets me go. Let's close down that aperture a little bit. That should help. So I have to go to f7.1. Lighten up the variable ND a little bit. All right, let's go back down to f5.6, lighten it up. There we go, without the variable ND at its highest level, very light level. Back down. Yeah, that looks better on the screen from what I can see right here. Now let's pull that out, see what it looks like pulled out. All right, here comes the ND out of there. Oh, wow. Yeah, can I even recover it now? I don't think I can even close this down enough to recover it. Oh, we must have contamination coming in through that hole where the where the lens goes. Yeah, contamination must be coming in. Nothing I do is saving it now, unless I cover it up. Let's see if that helps. No, nothing's saving it now. F10, F11. There we go. Yeah. Okay, I've got to keep my hand over the slot where the ND filter goes at this level. Yeah, let's put that ND back in there. Okay, much more appropriate. So outdoors when it's bright, you definitely need to keep the ND filter in. In a low light situation where it's not bright, you can pull it out and still use it. An indoor situation where it's not bright and it's pretty low light, just pull it out and you don't need it. But outdoors in the bright snow reflection sun day here, yeah, it's just too bright for it. So got to keep the ND filter in when you're outside, but you wouldn't pull it out here anyway because it's too bright. Okay. All right, I think that works well for a tester. Let's see if I catch any of the shifting white balance here. Not really seeing the shifting white balance too much. It's more of the exposure I'm seeing here, so can't really tell. It's not helping that my I don't want to increase the shutter speed too much there. All right. Okay. I think that about does it. Don't have that, but bought this on B&H for $130. The same price as the Canon adapter. And the Canon adapter doesn't have a variable ND in it. So autofocus working great on there. I'm not sure if the camera can pick that up, but the autofocus works as it should. Auto exposure is working as it should. So all that's working. And I was thinking that, you know, just in low light you have to change this out, but if you're in a low light setting and you just need to just pull this out, just grab that and pull it out while you're filming. See, I've got my variable ND is about as light as it can go. Now I've got a big gaping hole in the side, so you'd think it wouldn't work, but as you look here, it's working just fine with that gaping hole on the side, and it doesn't seem to make a difference if I put my hand over it or not. So maybe it does, it actually works if you need to on a low light setting. I'm sure if you're out in the bright sun, the sun might contaminate on this open space right here. But as for right now, as you can see from the screen, let's get in front of the screen here, it is working just fine. Autofocus, exposure, all looks good, and I've got a huge hole in the side. So I guess in a low light situation you can just pull that out and continue filming, and then you got to run outside. Say you're at a wedding in a dark area. Oh no, everybody in the wedding party is going out to the outside in the bright sun. Just grab that, throw that piece back in, darken as you need to, get out into the bright sunlight, and keep filming away. And then you're in a dark room, pull this out and keep filming. ISO, I'm showing ISO, let's go 800 in here. Put this back in. I'm showing ISO 4000. So definitely taking it down a few stops by putting that in there. So there we go. That's it. Commlite EF to EOS R variable ND autofocus adapter. My thoughts, my review. You guys have a good day.